Breeze Nation, what is good? It's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again, and it's a little quiet in the building. But we do got some squad in the building, and of course, we got Breeze Nation in the building. Yeah. As always, man, filling in, stepping in, whatever you want to call it, Jordan JC.
All right.
Running the show back there. Producer Jordan JC.
Oh, I'm about to blow some stuff up.
I don't know if I can do super, but I will say producer.
Joel, you better get back quick.
Hey, listen, Joel, I had to stop him from wearing your GM hat. Man, we got a lot on today's episode, man. I want to talk about as we head into training camp, who are we the highest on heading into training camp? Who are we the lowest on heading into training camp? And who might be that sleeper, that camp darling that we know is going to be getting some shine on Hard Knocks,
man,
that we're going to want to make the team. All that and more in today's episode of the Windy City Breeze Sports Talk Daily. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. If you're on the YouTube side, please hit the thumbs up. If you're on the Twitter side, hit that retweet button because, you know, Twitter be a little different on the like button. You got to watch your likes out here. Some of y'all likes outlandish. We remember Doc Rivers. We remember the Doc Rivers like saga. Jordan, what's going on, my guy? How you feeling, man?
Hey, man, I'm feeling pretty good, man. Today is a Thursday, and I'm a little bummed out just because Thursdays is Monopoly days.
Yeah.
None of the guys are here. Calvin's doing his thing.
Yeah.
The kid's probably gonna roll up in here like what is it?
Crimson
just saying he's sneaking in 20 minutes. That's a fact. You got Joe in Haiti. I don't know where he's at right now. So
Joel's in Haiti?
I don't know where Joel is. Joel's taking trips, man. We need our people back, okay?
It's a quiet Thursday today. It's a much more quiet Thursday, but man, that don't mean that the show gets to stop. That don't mean that the content gets to stop. We're gonna keep that thing moving, man.
Sir.
But it is hilarious that it's like, the show knows us so well that Crimson's like, watch P Kid come strolling in about 20 minutes. What a call.
Yeah, you called it.
What a pull on that. Hey, man, let's start the show off right, man, because I think that with training camp right around the corner, it's always fun to give those guys that you're most looking forward to, and it's always absolutely fun to talk about the guy that you have the least confidence in heading into training camp, because I think that those get interesting because nobody has the same confidence least in the guy, right? Like everybody has different expectations for the guys, and so that's why to me, I thought this would be a fun topic to do for today's show, and of course, that illustrious sleeper. I can't wait to talk about the camp darlings, but let's start this thing off, right? One player that we have the highest hopes for heading into training camp. And this is a very different situation this year because there's a lot of players that you could have massive hopes for heading into this year's training camp. But we'll start it off with you, my guy.
Yeah.
Right now, who do you have the highest hopes for heading into training camp?
Well, I'm going to go with Joel's all-world quarterback, Tyreek Stevenson, cornerback number 29 on the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
I really like the way he finished off his rookie season. I mean, you're talking about a guy who doesn't mind getting his hands dirty as a cornerback. He was tied for third with solo tackles, 67 as a cornerback, 4 interceptions, which was tied for fifth. Got to kind of get down on those penalties, but I mean, all in all, you look at Tyreek Stevenson. This is somebody who I think even if Jalen Johnson wasn't here, he'd probably turn into a cornerback one. And so I'm looking for him to take that next step, especially since we have an all-pro cornerback in JJ on the other side. So I'm looking for him to be special this year.
Reek is very interesting as we head into this season because you saw him finish at a phenomenal rate last year. And I think it does need to be stated how much he improved. You look at the beginning of that season, I believe he gave us 7 touchdowns.
Yeah.
To start the season, ton of penalties. You could see that there were moments in there where he had to figure out, okay, what am I allowed to do? What am I not allowed to do? Me and Tom Waddle talked about that today on the Chicago Bears podcast. Tap in with that as well. But there were a ton of moments where he was trying to like trap guys on the sideline, and it was like, yep, too much contact, kid. The flag's coming out. He was also getting a lot of rookie treatment, right? There was some calls early that were a little bit questionable early on in the season. But as you continue to go through, as you continue to watch Tyreek Stevenson throughout the year, I think that one thing that I thought that he perfected as the season continued to go on was that ability to trap guys on the sideline, keep the hands out of the way, still keep the hands in a position to be able to knock the ball away and basically give a guy nowhere to go. You're not getting to the outside on me. I thought that he did that really, really well. And as we head into training camp, I do want to see if he kind of takes a foothold on that second best cornerback on this team. kind of situation because can we say this? And I guess, right, of course he comes in as the starter right now.
Yeah.
Can we say that he's the guaranteed number 2? Because there's a lot of cornerback talent on this team. I thought Terrell Smith in fill-in moments was a really, really good player as well. Like, I don't think he has as much room as many people think as far as wiggle room to take a step back.
I mean, outside of the wide receiver room, I feel like cornerback is the best room that we have, because we can go 4, maybe even 5 deep, I believe. Kyler Gordon is right there behind Tariq. But if you're talking about a guy who can, probably match up against some of the best receivers, ex-receivers, I think Tariq can get the job done. Kyler is more so the slot guy. He's a guy that can, get with those smaller, speedy receivers. I think that's his role, his perfect role in this system. And so that's why I think number 2, you got to give it to Tariq. Terrell Smith is a really, really nice guy off the bench. I mean, that's a luxury that we have. But I do think Tariq will be that number 2.
I think he starts off as the number 2 for sure. I think my question is it his job no matter what? Right? There's some dudes, right? Yeah. Jalen Johnson's the number 1 no matter what.
Yeah.
If he has a bad training camp, if he has a good training camp, he's your number 1 DB. He's the guy that's following you around no matter what because you paid him that money. He's locked in. Kevin Byard is your lead safety no matter what, right? Yeah. Because you brought him in free agency. He's the vet in the room, or he's the most elder vet in the room, right? You gave him that money, right? Like, no matter what happens, it's his job. There's no guy behind him. Can we say the same thing about Tyreek? Or if Terrell Smith has a better training camp than Tyreek, could you see Terrell Smith move ahead of him? Because Terrell Smith, I get it. He was behind him last year. But Terrell Smith had a really good finish to the season as well.
In my opinion, wouldn't Terrell Smith have to jump Kyler, though? Because, I mean, if you're talking about the top 3 corners.
But I think you got Kyler setting that slot. That's where he feels most comfortable at.
So you're saying Terrell wouldn't even be considered for a slot corner. It's just a matter of, okay, who's the second guy to fill the other opposite?
I think,
okay. Terrell's really, really good. I mean, for where we drafted him, Terrell has really, did some good things for us. But I don't think that – I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think he can hold a candle to Tariq Stevenson. The potential of Tariq Stevenson, especially with, again, JJ being on the other side. I think just with the NFL speed, I think that's something that he's gotten acclimated to, as the season got on. I think that he just becomes more comfortable in his role. And another off season for him to hone in on his craft. I think Tariq is going to, just continue to go upward. I don't see anybody competing for that number 2 with him. I really don't.
Hey, listen, that's the goal. I hope that is the case. It's better to have answers than to not. And here's the thing. Yeah. It's not a bad situation to have that conversation either, right? The fact that you can have that conversation about Terrell Smith and Tyreek Stevenson, you know what that speaks to? Depth.
How deep we go.
Hey, whoa.
Sorry.
What are we doing? How deep are you? I mean,
4 deep. That's it.
4 deep? Oh my God! No.
All right. Anyway,
talk about selling yourself short. Let's keep.
Good Lord,
that was wild. That's how we starting this off. Yeah, leave it to Meaty.
All right, leave it to
Meaty. He's running straight through that. No pause.
That's right.
That's also wild to say. He's running straight through that. No pause. It's also crazy. My guy who I'm most confident in, and this may be a little bit early. But as I've watched his tape from last season, I have a confidence in Austin Booker.
Wow.
Almost.
That is early.
Almost as high. I don't want to say almost as high. Also, there's a giant moth on that vent right there. What is going on with the bugs in this building right now, dog?
I don't know, man.
We got so it's a lot of lights in here, so you knew they come in here. That one threw me off right there. That is a massive moth right there, dog. We got Mothra in this mug. Where's Godzilla when you make it up? To me, when I look at Austin Booker's film, I see a guy who, like we were just talking about Terrell Smith to Tyreek Stevenson.
Yeah.
I see a guy who many people may not expect right now to be anything more than a backup that I think could give DeMarcus Walker some go at that edge position. And by the end of this training camp, if he shows enough, if by the end of preseason, if he shows enough, I think that he could be a guy who answers that question. And that may be why we've seen Ryan Poles hold off on going out to sign an opposite edge rusher, because I'm telling you, dog, in less than 500 snaps, when you watch him at Kansas, every play he's on the field is an impact. Every play he's on the field, if it's not pressure, if it's not right, he was on the field goal unit a little bit. The ability to be able to get back there around the line to get to the kicker. I think that there's so many things that you can talk about with Austin Booker that I am so incredibly confident in his skill set coming into this season. And I think it just translates. First off, he's already a freak build.
Yeah,
right. He's not somebody that you're looking at and you're like, he's got to add a ton of muscle because he's a pure pass rusher. Now, are there things that are going to have to improve on him? He's Yannick Ngakoue. He shouldn't be out there on rundowns. Watching him in the run game is kind of like watching Chase Young in the run game. But if you got, and this is why it's so interesting to me when I watch his game, because to me, when you see him, the fact that you've got Montez opposite of him, that gives me so much like, no, I think by the end of training camp, as we get into some of these preseason games, you may see him ahead of DeMarcus Walker, which may create some of that depth that you're looking for, not only interior, but outside, because DeMarcus Walker can play both.
Now, you know how I feel about DeMarcus Walker. I think he's just a piece. He's somebody who can, spell. I don't think he's somebody that's going to be your starter for the whole season. I think Austin Booker can overlap him just with a little bit of, experience. But my question is, you're saying that maybe this is someone who's going to can probably shoot out the gate, and so that we won't even be looking at re-signing like a Yannick or going out to get someone who's on the free agency market.
I think if you see the confidence in him, if you see the flashes, and because remember, he transferred to Kansas.
Yeah.
Right. So coming into that situation, like my biggest thing was, why is he playing so few snaps? He was a transfer out of I can't remember what school he was at. I want to say, no, South Carolina is a good school. He was at a small school. I got to look it up again. But he transfers into Kansas, so he's not getting a ton of looks. He's not the main guy there. Kansas had a pretty solid defensive line already, so it's not like he was going to break into that lineup. But I'm telling you, like, when you see a guy who, it's almost like, what's a good analogy for Austin Booker? I can't. It's almost like a player who every time, how many times have we seen this with the Bulls, right? Every time a guy's given more minutes, he shows more production. And then the Bulls don't put him back in. That's kind of what Austin Booker was at Kansas. And I think if you don't miss that here early on, right, if he's somebody who comes in and every time he gets his opportunity to play, you see him in the backfield, which is what you see every time he's on the field at Kansas. There's a lot of time spent in that backfield.
Let me tell you something. I wouldn't mind Austin Booker being Javonte Green. There's 5 Austin Bookers out there. You give me 5 Austin Bookers out there. There's some chaos going on. I like that comparison. And
I think my big thing with him, I can't find.
Yeah, I'm looking at it. I'm trying to see.
I was trying to see it on PFF.
High school Center Grove, but no, that's not the transfer. Timeline.
Because right now at PFF, most of his numbers are freaking just based off of where he was at. But no, I think what's good, Hayes. Is Hayes in here? Or do you think I'm Hayes? Chicago Sports Talk, Michael. Do you watch Locked On Bulls and think I'm Hayes? That could be concerning. But no. No, but to me, like when I look at a player like Austin Booker, when I look at his intensity, when I look at how he attacks the game, I think he's going to be somebody, if he can get down the playbook, right? There's still that part of it.
Right.
But if he can get down the playbook, to me, I do see a very similar type of player to Chase Young.
Wow. Well, first of all, that's the guy that everybody wanted coming out of college in the first round.
And you got him in the fifth.
You have those traits. I mean, what did they say? He has long legs. He has a good length. I mean, he has the intangibles. He has all of the traits to be special. It's just a matter of putting it together. But to compare him to Chase Young, now I will say I hope he has a better motor than Chase Young, because that's the one thing that we've kind of found out that Chase Young doesn't have. He could be so much better than he is right now. But yeah, I'm on board with that. I mean, that would be a guy that I'm looking forward to seeing, be kind of take over that other end of the line, opposite Montez Sweat. If we don't sign Yannick, I do still think we do need to bring one more guy in for competition. But if we continue to stand pat, then no, Austin could be that guy.
Now, listen, I'm not out on Yannick, right? I would love for it to be a situation where Yannick Ngakoue, you bring him in, he's your starting opposite edge to Montez Sweat, and Austin Booker is the second guy in that platoon.
Yeah.
And you still see him develop right this season, because we know how Flus wants to run this. This is not a one guy's going to be in there for 70 snaps a game, right? It's one guy who's going to be in there for, this drive, and maybe he ends up switching. So
yeah,
I think that's the one thing that I look at right now, that with Austin Booker.
Hey, Crimson, guess what?
Hey, Crimson.
Here we go. Hey,
so Ken, what are your thoughts? Did you come in with a beer?
With a beer, bro. Cracked open.
Where's the beer at?
I got some work.
It's just he got one beer. This man got one beer.
I was running so late. I mean, I took the beer on the way out. So it's the least you could do. The least you could do. Like, why not? First of all, for all those watches, not beer. It's really Mountain Dew.
Oh,
he's had 3 out of the way.
Right.
But
hey, by the way, for reference, I think he signed with Minnesota, the Gophers, before he went to Kansas. I'm looking at the timeline for Austin Booker.
Austin Booker, he played with the Gophers before he went to Kansas. That sounds right. So, but yeah, like he found his way. He figured out how he was going to be able to make an impact into this league, and I think that's the one thing that I love about getting this kind of player on the team, especially where you got him, right? You end up getting him in the 5th round after the punter is nuts. You end up getting him in the 5th round.
Taylor, baby.
Yeah, I mean, but the fact that you got, I saw Austin Booker as a talent. I mean, when we evaluated him, I was talking about Austin Booker being a 3rd round type of guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he ends up falling all the way to the 5th. That's a best case scenario for you, to me, where you get a guy who has an incredible motor, has an ability to continue to find his way in the backfield. I think 5th round pick may work to his advantage, because there's some people that may doubt his skill until he ends up going past them a couple of times, right? Listen, that's all it takes. That's all you need is people to underestimate you. And when this guy, the one thing that I love about him and what gives me the confidence on him heading into training camp, he has a nose to find the football, man. I mean, like, he's like Michael Irvin the powder. You know what I'm saying? Like, he finds his way there.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
What happened?
What you just
What's going on?
Yeah, Michael.
What's going on?
Wait. He said it so smooth too. It was just like
you just gotta breeze past it.
I'm just, I don't know.
Like,
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
Did you practice that ball?
No, not at all.
Jesus,
I just thought it up.
That's a bar. The delivery's on point. You should be a comedian at that time. God,
damn. I still want to do stand-up comedy. That is a dream of mine. No, you know what? I've always wanted to do it. I've always wanted to like have that as like something that I do, but I've never like the get on stand-up comedy scene in Chicago I feel like it's not heavy. Or maybe I just need to go to Zany's more. But like I feel like getting on a list of like it's my turn to go up. Like I feel like we don't see that as much in Chicago as you would in some other cities.
Like I've been in a couple of spots you just sign up.
Well, that's how the comedy clubs usually go. But I mean, how many comedy clubs we got? We got one. We got Zany's.
I mean, some bars that kind of do it.
I'm sure it probably
we
is.
We really only have like one premier comedy
as far
club?
as I know. What other comedy clubs?
I wouldn't know.
I will say this. I haven't been a part of the comedy scene in Chicago, like paying attention to it as heavy over the past 4 or 5 years.
One of our guys just did, it was on his bucket list. Glenn did a set.
How do you do?
He did
do it. I didn't get a chance to go, but I heard he did pretty good.
Oh, okay. And Laugh Factory. Yeah, Nova's right. Laugh Factory is here too.
Yeah.
There's a Laugh Factory here?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Hey, we should check that out. I'm gonna put you on the list.
I mean, I go up there. I just be like, hey, how you doing? You
got a good 5 minutes?
I probably got 5 minutes.
I got 5
minutes written out.
Man
got a super chat coming in.
5 minutes written out. Super chat from Chicago Sports Talk. Michael, appreciate you, Chicago Sports Talk. Michael said Don Bird needs a reminder that the last time the Bears and the Lions played, we smoked them. I'm a content creator myself, and he comes on my channel. Listen, we love Don Bird here on this channel because I'm Chicago over everything, and Detroit is what is it? What? It's still a municipality or whatever it is. Yeah,
it's not a good
squatter's right.
I'm gonna tell you this.
Hey, it's a city of squatters at this point, including the Pistons.
The hate for this runs deep. I want you all to know I just left a networking event that I had to be at. Shout out to my employer, though. I know you're watching. And one of the RVPs there is a diehard Detroit fan. And he was like looking for people for his team. I said, well, this is not going to work out. He said, why? I said, because you're a Detroit fan.
That's it.
That's it. You're a
that's
Detroit
it.
fan.
Yeah.
He said, well, I grew up there. I was like, that sucks to be you.
It sucks to be you. Yeah.
Well, listen, and I was dead serious. And that was the last thing we spoke. And I walk off and I grabbed this beer. And then I left. Y'all think I'm playing when I'm dead serious. That's how savage this is. This runs deep.
Hey,
I messed up a job opportunity. Probably. Like, this is legit here. Hey, listen, this is not foo-foo. This is not for play. I really did this. This is real talk.
Because here's the tough part about it, bro. Like real talk. If you being 100% honest about it, I'm gonna talk trash to you no matter what. I don't care if you're my boss or what. Like if it's Detroit versus Chicago, I'm talking trash.
That's what happened. I'm dead serious. That's what happened. I was like, oh, this ain't gonna work out. And I was done. Now listen, he can deal with it how you want to deal with it at that point. But no, he's a good guy. He's a real good guy. He's a good fan. He's a fan of the show too. But,
hey man, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. But I mean, his team sucks.
Yeah.
Pistons mostly and the Red Wings.
Except for Jared, I gotta admit, Jared Goff is a good QB.
Jared Goff a good.
No,
QB.
he's decent.
Jared Goff a good
I'm not gonna
QB.
sit here and lie.
You know what?
They got a decent squad.
The way you use decent for good players.
It's because I don't want to give
because
them
this
full
Chicago.
props. I
Decent is good.
No, decent is mid.
Nah, if you see a bad chick, but like she not that bad, you be like, hey,
yeah,
she decent though.
Yeah.
No,
It's all about the emphasis on the decent.
It's a voice inflection.
She decent.
When you say she decent, that means 5 to 6. We say she decent though. That's like a 6 to 7, right? It's the voice inflection.
Yeah.
We
Seven's
real
about
big on
average
voice
decent.
inflections in
Yeah,
Chicago.
yeah.
Y'all know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
Maybe. Yeah.
It's like you can say bad
For me,
different times.
Jared Goff decent though. You know what I mean? He
Yeah.
decent.
So he is 6 to 7.
Yeah.
Hey,
I'll take that.
you'll understand this. Your boy Kurt Cobain's decent.
He decent.
That's a 6 to 7.
He decent.
Hey, a 35 off a broke leg, I'll take that. Easy.
Oh man, who's the one guy you looking forward to seeing in training camp, P Kid?
Caleb.
Who? What?
Caleb, what are we talking about?
That's too
Hey,
easy.
listen,
Come on,
Caleb,
man.
I don't care about nobody else. So listen, I don't care. Caleb been wrong. Everybody else kick around. What are we doing? Why are you asking me this question? You know what I'm here for. The yams.
The yams.
The yams. Oh, no.
Sorry,
What is that?
You know what I'm here for. Don't ask no questions. You know what I'm here for.
I'm not
Caleb.
mad at it, bro. It is funny, right? Because I feel like it's like, who do you have the highest hopes for? Who are you looking most forward to seeing? Caleb's not a bad answer. It's not a bad answer because
it's the only answer.
well, because I think here's the funny part about it, right? Like me seeing Caleb at training camp after what I've seen at OTAs and mini camp and stuff like that. And yes, you do got to see it more. You got to see it more consistently. But when I hear this team talk about, once he gets the cadence, we're just looking for him to get that cadence down. We're looking for the old lineman to understand the cadence. We're looking for the cadence. They're not worried about nothing with this man's arm. His arm ain't been mentioned. So for me, it's more like,
That's a good point. Yeah.
not to say I'm not worried about Caleb Williams, but it don't sound like the Bears are worried about Caleb Williams. So like for me at training camp, it's like, he seems to be set aside right now. Rome, I'm gonna tell you this right now. If Caleb wasn't here, we would be raving about Rome. We would be losing our freaking minds that Rome Odunze is on the Chicago Bears right now.
Yeah.
And every time you see him on the practice field, it's like, yep, I see why you didn't go get the offensive lineman, because you don't get that every day.
Let's be honest. Chicago has been blessed to have had every other position that we've drafted, upgraded, whatever. We've seen them be successful here. Maybe not O-line, but we've seen them be successful here.
No, we've had phenomenal O-line.
Okay, so even O-line. So we've seen
it was
phenomenal
85.
running backs. Jesus,
It was 85.
We've seen phenomenal running backs. We've had dual threats at the receiving in our receiving core before that did well. Okay, maybe we did have a good QB in Jay Cutler. Like we've seen other positions thrive here, but what he's expected to do and what he's projected to do, we've never seen in Chicago. So I want to see it. Justin was supposed to be it. Didn't work out. Cool. I want to see him. I want to see if he really got it. If he comes out and he looks like Jordan Love in his first year, that's a win.
Yeah.
4,030.
4,030. That's all you got to do. Hey,
I hate that bro. I hate that I got to give credit to Jordan Love, bro. I was watching.
Yeah.
I went back and watched because we did an episode a couple days ago on who, ranking quarterback play callers in quarterback and play callers in the NFC North. And I had to go back and watch Jordan Love. And
he has some throws.
I mean, bro, outside of the first 4 games, bro,
he has some dots.
It just clicked for him.
He was special.
I hate it.
Yep.
I hate the fact that I had to give that man credit on the podcast. I was sitting there watching him just like, what legitimately, we talked about, I think we gave them the best quarterback play caller combo in the NFC North.
That's saying a lot.
Matt LaFleur is phenomenal too.
That's saying a lot.
His play, how he designs plays is phenomenal. So like the Bears still got their hands full.
Yeah.
Going up against the Packers next season. Like it ain't gonna be no cakewalk, but hopefully we end up seeing more success this year than we saw over the past 25.
Why am I getting wrong? He said PK cares more about yards than trophies.
I guess because all the quarterbacks you like haven't won anything, but they're very good at the stats.
That's actually a good call right there.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying he's right. I'm just saying.
You know what? I'm gonna just say, I'll give you 10 seconds. It's hard to win in the NFL. In fact, the people we talk about the most of them have only won one or haven't won anything at all. Lamar still ain't raised the trophy. Joe Burrow still ain't raised the trophy. Josh Allen still ain't raised the trophy. Dak Prescott still. It's out of the top 10, only 2 of them.
Dak is different.
But
Dak's a different
out of the
situation.
top 10 QBs in the league, only one has raised the trophy.
Out of the
Depending
top
on how you
10
rank them.
QBs,
If you
in
put
the
Aaron
league.
in there, that's 2. But if you
no, I mean,
depending on how you
I guess if you throw Aaron in there, that's 2. Pat Mahomes is 1.
It's hard to
I'm trying
win
to think
NFL.
top 10 quarterbacks in the NFL right now. Yeah, I guess so.
It's hard
Because Justin Herbert got to be in there, even though he's garbage.
Yeah. Only one has raised the trophy. He's dominating the conversation. He's the GOAT.
He's
right?
almost like the stopper of everybody else, like how Jordan was to Karl Malone and John.
Yeah, so that is nuts. That's actually crazy.
I care about the yards and stuff like that because I'm not expecting my rookie QB to win a Super Bowl. I'm expecting him to just come in and be the phenom I hope he is, and we build around him.
Let's just go win the Super Bowl. Man. Why are we playing around?
I want to win the Super Bowl.
Let's just go win the Super Bowl.
Dream big, baby.
Dream big. I
want to be realistic. Chicago's a hater town.
I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. That'd be so crazy because I would have to watch my wife. I would have to watch my wife, who has watched me never basically cry at anything outside of death. Watch me cry over the Bears winning the Super Bowl. Bro, I ain't cried at the birth of our child.
Oh my goodness, bro.
I didn't either though.
I didn't cry at our wedding.
I didn't cry.
I haven't cried for some deaths in the family. Like I was like,
most of them
you get over it.
It's rough.
Bro, like if the Bears win the Super Bowl, I'm full on balling, bro.
I mean, look at what you do. You were invested.
Yeah.
Y'all don't understand. This almost didn't happen. Like this part, Pat didn't want to talk about the Bears at all. He was that invested. He didn't want to do a live call of a Bears game at all.
I was going to say, we talked about the Bears. I didn't want a live call to Bears.
He didn't want a live call.
I didn't want a live call
at all. He was that invested. And when we did it and it became a Bears-focused thing, I mean, look at what has developed.
I'm not going to sit up here and lie to you. If the Bears win a championship this year, I might shed a tear too. I mean, I think the whole city's going to be.
I might ball, bro.
You know how crazy the city's going to be?
I might be uncontrollable. I'm definitely going to be drinking too. So, that's usually when the emotions start to run a little bit more.
I think
you know what I mean?
I'm gonna be
seems like a dark liquor day.
Oh yeah, tequila, baby.
You going light? You going light liquor on that day?
I gotta keep my head on the swivel. I'm sorry. When Chicago win and we do amazing things, stupid stuff to follow. You and
crowds don't mix.
Me and crowds don't get along for some odd reason.
That's true. That's true.
Every time they don't bother him, they want to pick on me. Like, why you want to pick on me? I'm a cool guy. Like, what do you want?
I don't know. There's room for debate.
Hey, real quick though, I do got one more name I want to throw out there because I really think, and we're talking about like what's most important coming up this year is protecting Caleb Williams. You mentioned Caleb Williams being your guy.
Yeah.
I really want to see Darnell Wright take another step forward. I think he was really, really good at the end of the season. You're looking at his stats. PFF states that he was the only rookie offensive lineman in 2023 who played at least 100 snaps and then also had a 60+ run blocking grade and pass blocking grade. I mean, so you improve on those numbers. I mean, what did I do?
Oh, you're breaking stuff.
Joe, I didn't do anything.
By the way,
only did it.
It's funny that happened right as Joe says,
live?
Jordan, get out of my seat.
I'm sorry.
That's spiritistic right there.
By the way, shout out to him. He says the drinks are working in Atlanta, so I'm glad they are.
Hey.
Shout out to you, my G.
Working for what? Atlanta?
He said the drinks are working in Atlanta.
What that mean?
I don't know.
You can't just say that in Atlanta.
Yeah,
That's
hold on.
concerning.
Wait.
Hey, Joe.
Hey, Joe.
Hey.
There you go. That's a good point. That's a good point.
What are they working for in Atlanta, my boy? You got to be careful out there, dog. Joe, please.
First you had AD, now you got BD.
Oh, stop breaking my stuff.
Man.
Hey, you know the drinks is really working. He didn't spell breaking right.
Hey, stop bracking my stuff.
Stop breaking.
Oh God.
You know what though? Talking about Darnell Wright and kind of the having a high confidence in him, and watching him closely. I think that Darnell, to me, he just has that mindset right off of the field. Seems like a very simple guy, not overly aggressive or nothing like that. But when he gets on the field, he knows how to turn on that switch, and he knows how to be an absolute monster. And I think that that's the one thing that I always look at on that right side, and you would love to have that on the left side as well. Just a monster on the field that is willing to lay anybody out who's standing in front of him or who tries to get near his quarterback. So yeah, Darnell's somebody I'm gonna be looking close at, and who somebody I have confidence in as we continue to move forward.
Can I add a name?
Go ahead.
It's not a player, but more along the lines of his scheme. I want to know what Shane looks like here. That is really important because, I mean, Caleb can be as fantastic as he wants to be, but if he walks in and the scheme is just not all that great, which doesn't seem to be the case. But just to see how he sets his players up, like you said, the play calling and QB duel with Jordan Love and Green Bay, that seems to be really good. I want to see that there. A lot of that matters. The play calling matters in that situation. Even if Caleb goes down or doesn't play, and I'm not wishing that on him, but just hypothetically, we have an offense that should make number 2. Tyson Bagent should be able to come in and look good based off how Shane Waldron schemes it. Based off of the skill players that we have and stuff like that. We have elite, I would say an elite offense if he schemes it right. Does that make sense? Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. I want to see what he puts out there. I don't want to see a bunch of screen passes this way.
Well, please no.
Hey, Pat, catch. Yeah, I don't want to see that.
I dropped it. Fumble behind the line of scrimmage.
It's a very much so Justin Fields play right there. Like, I don't want to see a bunch of that. I just want to see that progression there and just see a high-powered offense and how he calls it. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, the thing with Waldron for me is don't be timid. Like, I feel like that was I was debating this after we finished recording today. We were debating this with just the guys in the room and some of the girls that were in the room as well. We got an intern at ESPN now, and she has some phenomenal knowledge sports wise. I was sitting there, I was like, I am impressed right now.
Watch out.
Well, I was impressed because all she doing is editing clips, and I'm like, you need a microphone? Like, should we get you on the podcast? Yeah, I mean, like it's not like I was impressed that like a woman knew sports. I was impressed because I was like, oh, it's a good debate. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you should grab a mic. But no, like, to me, when I look at what Shane Waldron can do, the one thing I don't want to see is him be timid with Caleb because Caleb's a rookie. Let him go out there and make his mistakes. Let that man go out there and be aggressive down the field. Let him, play with swagger, play with confidence. Don't try to stifle it. I feel like no matter what you think about Justin Fields, I feel like Luke Getsy's goal here for 3 years was to stifle his development. Play it safe. And everybody's always like, well, you got to play it safe when your quarterback's throwing turnovers. And it's like, no, your quarterback throwing turnovers is how he learns to not throw turnovers. Like, you don't figure out where not to throw it if you're not aggressive. You don't figure out where not to put the ball or where I can put the ball if you're not trying to attack down the field. Now, did Justin not do that enough? 100%. He didn't attack in those moments when he was allowed to, and you kind of had to, because it's like, hey, bro, like, you're not going to get a ton of these opportunities. But that's what I don't want to see Shane Waldron do. Don't Luke Getsy this. Luke Getsy's the dude that called the same screen pass versus championship defense on the 2-yard line 4 times.
Multiple times. Yep.
In a row, like not 4 times in different drives, in a row.
It's ridiculous.
Don't be scared. Oh, by the way, in an end of game situation where you needed to get down the field, don't be scared to be aggressive. That's my biggest takeaway from Shane Waldron, and the thing that I'm looking forward, or most forward to see from him. How aggressive are you gonna let this offense actually be starting things off?
Oh, real quick, I completely forgot this. Over 100 in the chat.
Over 100 in the chat. You're having a tough time over there.
I don't know which one is
he don't know how to. He was struggling there a little bit.
Joe, come back.
He was struggling there a little bit.
You got to work on that.
Super producer, we need you, though. Oh, that's crazy. That's nuts.
Oh, come on.
That's nuts. That was a wild thing to say.
What? I'm just anyway. Hey, moving on to the next topic. I mean,
Mike Davis said, I don't know, Pat. Jameis is Mr. 30 for 30 and other double-digit interception seasons. 100%. But you know what you know what you don't feel like you're missing out on if you see a dude consistently go out there and throw interceptions? You don't feel like you're missing out on unlocked potential.
Facts.
How many people are there still around Chicago that think if you put Justin with this team or team that more suits him, that he would have been able to go out there and be successful? You know what I mean? Like, but now that's the NFL. Sometimes you don't get to see it. Sometimes this may have been Justin's opportunity. And if I'm being honest, in the moments that he got to attack, he squandered it.
No, he had his opportunity.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's going to be a long uphill battle, because anybody that thinks he's going to beat Russell Wilson, you's a fool. But
it's more. I think the question is, because the one thing I can expect to me is Russ is going to get hurt. That offensive line is, you got to be a little more mobile.
Yeah, at a certain point,
Russ is going to get hurt.
Minus an injury, you ain't got a job, my boy. Go ahead. He
got a job. He's a backup job.
Minus injury, you scout team, my boy. Holla at me.
Whoa,
scout team.
Nah, he's not scout team. He's a backup quarterback.
At least the man can give some kickoffs and some returns.
I mean, it's a joke. I mean, I know he's the.
Hey, where's Kenny Pickett at? Where did he get moved to?
Scout team.
Who?
Where's Kenny Pickett at?
I think he's the backup in.
Yeah, he's definitely.
Is he in Minnesota? No.
he's definitely
Oh my
back.
goodness, I just saw it too.
Where'd Kenny Pickett end up going, bro?
He's behind a really, really good quarterback, but I can't remember exactly where.
Oh, is Kenny in Buffalo? That feels right.
No, I think Trubisky's back in Buffalo.
No, Trubisky
ain't in Buffalo. I don't even. Does Trubisky have a job now?
Trubisky's back in Buffalo.
Is he? I don't know, but I think at the end of the day, my thing is just, like,
where's Kenny Pickett?
Go be aggressive.
I literally
don't sit there and try and hold this guy back.
Yes,
he's on the Jets.
He's backing up the Jets. He's backing up on the Jets. But my thing is, don't go out there.
Oh no, I'm sorry, the Eagles.
That don't fit.
It was a green team. Yeah, you're right. He is behind
a green team.
Yeah, he's behind Jalen.
That doesn't fit.
No, it doesn't.
Hey, listen, you know how I feel about Jalen.
Listen, my biggest thing is my biggest thing with the Bears this season. Just don't be scared to be aggressive. I feel like that was our problem defensively last year. That was our problem offensively last year. We got to change it. And listen, that comes down to Flus to me as well. The mindset of the coach is the most important thing.
Really?
I mean, if he gets in, he's not mobile.
Look, he's got 2 good receivers.
Well,
he's got
Kenny mobile.
there.
Kenny's mobile.
Is he?
Kenny can be mobile. He ain't got wheels. Like he's not like. But I think that he's mobile enough to do that. Because remember, Kenny was on that. What team was he on? With Jaden Reed. He kept underthrowing him, and that's why we was impressed by Jaden Reed. But there was a few times he had to scramble up out of there. Kenny can get out of there if he needs to.
The only, if all jokes aside, I know we're moving on. I really wanted Justin to be in Philly. I thought that would be a great chance because
I always thought he was better than Jalen.
I thought that system would be better fit for him to have second chance. Wait a minute.
In all honesty, no, I'm dead. Dating back to college because Jalen had to transfer from Alabama to Oklahoma. So I always thought that Justin had better potential or has better potential than Jalen. So when Jalen had that Philly team surrounding him, I'm like, well, if you put Justin in that same environment, a la like we talk about even Brock Purdy with San Francisco,
I feel
like he was going to thrive more.
Yeah, I feel like that.
I mean, listen, here's the thing. It doesn't mean that he can't, but you got to. Everybody don't get that situation.
Yeah,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, listen, I'm glad the Bears had that situation out. It's why I feel good about Caleb. Everybody don't get that situation.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? If you get that situation, you get lucky. For the guys that don't get that situation, it may not work out for you. So we'll see what it ends up being. Who do you feel least confident heading into training camp about? There's some names on that list as well. Who do you feel the least confident in as you get ready for training camp here?
Man, here we go. Well, I guess I'll start. Here's a guy who you probably don't care about because you don't care about the position, is the running back Khalil Herbert. And it's not because I don't think he's not individually talented. I mean, last year he put up 611 yards, couple touchdowns, 132 carries, 4.6 average. That's not bad at all for his production. But I feel like he's just the odd man out because we got a obvious starter in DeAndre Swift, who's coming off of a Pro Bowl season. And a lot of people, like you were saying, view him as a really, really good running back who could probably really shine this year, coming off of a good season. Then you got Roschon Johnson, who I personally thought was going to take over the starting role if we didn't pick up another guy. And so I think it's just because of the situation. It's the environment he's in. It's not necessarily because he sucks or anything, but he's probably going to be your third running back now.
Third running back.
I don't know if he's the third running back yet.
You think him and Roschon are still competing?
I think that him and Roschon for sure is still competing.
Okay.
I think he could lose the job. I do think that he could lose the job, but I don't think he's the third running back yet.
Yeah.
But by the time we get to training camp, could I see him losing a job? Yeah.
Oh,
100%.
What am I talking to? You doggone right, Baki. I'm tripping. You get that guy off this team now.
Bro, I'm not going to lie to you. Velus Jones not going nowhere.
Oh, God.
I'm going to tell you.
This new kickoff rule might fix him, bro. I'm telling you, bro.
The new kickoff rule is going to be good for him.
We got Carter now, right?
I mean, we did pick up somebody.
Yeah, but you gonna stick with the dude that's your guy over. Plus, how a lot of it is gonna be set up is it's gonna be two guys back there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be a lot of two guys back there.
That's a good point.
I was gonna agree with a lot of people in the chat and say Nate Davis. We've already kind of but I'm gonna think. I'm not hoping a situation, but this is one situation I do like kind of anticipate, and it's gonna put us in a situation where we have some questions at the end of the season. I don't want to say I'm least confident based off his ability and stuff, like kind of similar to what JC said about the RB.
Khalil Herbert.
I am concerned about Keenan Allen.
Really? Why are you concerned about Keenan Allen?
Wow. One, age, injury, and then utilization. Like, I want Rome to get as many targets as possible. I am like the way they talk about Rome. Is Keenan Allen going to be able to accept that? I'm
not concerned about Keenan Allen because it's not going to be a force-fed team. I'm not going to have to force you the ball. It's going to be who's got the weakest DB on him today. And at some point, the defense is going to have to adjust. Mm-hmm. And so if Keenan Allen got the weakest DB on him and he's in the slot, Keenan Allen, you're getting 10 passes today. If they adjust and they like Keenan's killing us, we got to put, Jalen Rieger on him. All right. DJ, you getting 10 passes today. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not concerned about Keenan because I think Keenan's like, let's win something. And two, I think that the mindset of I got to get mine is going to be like, I mean, how many defenses can really match up 3 deep that we play against in the first?
Not many.
But it's almost
even on the schedule. I mean, I would say Detroit. I would say Green Bay if they actually call the defense right.
Yeah.
San Fran.
I wanted to think outside the box
Houston.
A little bit. Like, I didn't want to think of the usual suspects. Like, Velus was number 1 for me.
Yeah.
Nate Davis was number 2. Let's be for real. Like, we know who we are really concerned about, but it's like let's really think worst case scenario. Like, what could happen in this way? I just want to bring something different from that aspect.
You just think his production won't match like his normal production.
Exactly. How does he handle that? Because he's always been the guy.
Right.
He's been the guy his entire career. And then on top of that, it's like, look at what happened in Cincinnati, like the Boyd situation.
I think here's the thing, though. One, Tyler Boyd is coming off of a rookie deal, so he's trying to get paid.
For sure.
But to me, with Keenan Allen,
Allen's in his final year of his contract, so he's trying to re-up.
Yeah, but to me, with Keenan Allen, I mean, listen, how many wide receivers in the NFL would you rather have on your team on a 3rd and 7? When you got a young quarterback and you need to get a first down.
Hey, I'm with you.
I don't think
I
think there are moments where teams are going to have to go. Like, it's not even about is he going to get enough targets. There are moments that are going to just naturally happen in the game where you're just going to go, no, this is Keenan Allen's ball. Yeah. Because of what he's shown you in the past, because of the history of Keenan Allen.
But the business of football has shown itself to be a nasty, it's a dirty game. Let's be for real. We've seen players talk about, hey, you know what time it is when they're limiting your targets and stuff like that because they don't want to re-up and pay you. And they use that in the contract negotiation. I'm not saying that that's what's going to happen, but I'm saying, hey, there's a lot of signs that say Keenan's not going to be, he's not the number one option here. You know that he shouldn't even be the number 2 option here. But he's a great safety net for a rookie QB.
I think you're assuming Ryan Poles expects to get to a contract negotiation with him.
I am making that assumption.
I don't know if that's the case.
You think you're going to let him walk?
Why not? If Keenan Allen decides to go out in the free agency, I get a compensatory pick that at best is a 3rd, at worst is a 4th.
If we see
so that's the draft capital that I traded away.
For sure.
To get back. If I go into next season and I'm not confident, like Odunze has a dud of a season, then maybe you think, okay, we can't let him go. We got to have contract talks. But if Odunze comes out and at a minimum puts up 800 yards, 5 touchdowns, I love Keenan Allen. I'd love to have him on the team, but let's not pretend like there's not other positions that have to be focused on. I'm not so tied to Keenan Allen that I think that we got to re-sign him for 4 years and he's got to finish out his career here. Now that would be a dream, right? Give me 5 years of freaking one of the best offenses in the NFL. That's a dream. I would love it.
And that's where my mind is going. I got a rookie QB, I got a rookie receiver who are both projected to be studs, and I got 2 all-pro receivers.
But I also got
DJ All-Pro?
DJ's all-pro. But I've also got I think DJ's made an all-pro team.
Yeah.
I believe so. I think in Carolina because he had like 2 no, he made it last year, didn't he?
Let me double check. Hey,
I don't know about that.
Hey, listen, really good receivers here. How about that? You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, you got 3 phenomenal receivers. But I think here's the thing, right? Like, while I would love that, the thing that you also have to take into account as well is next season. And that's why a lot of these moves are 1-year deals, right? Yannick Ngakoue, if you bring him back, will not be back a 3rd season. Because next year, I have all my draft picks. And it's a phenomenal edge market.
I can see why you do that, though.
But exactly. But I think even with that, right, if Odunze proves that he's your number 2 this year, why wouldn't I go out in the 2nd round, which if I still have the Panthers pick, I got the highest Panthers pick. You get a high 2nd round wide receiver that are also going to be good next year. As your 3rd option, now my wide receiver room is DJ Moore money. Like the only person making real money on there is DJ Moore. Yeah. That's a dream scenario.
Yeah, you thinking on the re-up. Yeah.
That's a dream scenario. And so I do think that I think you got to play it kind of safe, but I wouldn't be surprised by that if they end up letting them walk. No Pro Bowls. I know he had no Pro Bowls, but I don't know if he made all Pro.
Pro Football Focus says that DJ Moore had 2nd team.
All Pro 2nd team.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all pro.
Yeah.
One of the best players in the NFL.
What about you?
The person I have the least amount of confidence in coming into training camp, I'm not gonna lie to you, or I guess I'm the most worried about Ryan Bates.
Really?
I love the scenario that like people are trying to paint for me, but 150 snaps in the NFL is not a center.
Not enough.
No. You want to know why? How many snaps does he has in his career at center?
You said 150.
No, like his entire life.
Didn't you say 150?
150.
Yeah, I was
college, high school. He didn't play center.
Yeah.
He hasn't been a center.
Yeah.
I understand that we're living in this world where it's like, no, like he'll figure it out. You snap the ball, you do some blocking.
Cole did, though, right?
Cole who?
Shelton?
Coleman Shelton. Coleman Shelton wasn't. But here's the thing: Coleman Shelton is young. He's 27 years old. He's a starting center. Why would he be a free agent? Matthew Stafford can't run.
Yeah, he had over 1,000.
You know what I mean? Like,
1,000 snaps.
Yes, he's a starting center. Yes, he has over 1,000 snaps.
Yeah.
Yes, he could play the position. If he was good, he wouldn't be out there.
No.
You don't let starting centers.
Who did they replace him with?
The young player that they brought in, the young I forget who the backup was for a couple of years there, but he's nice. I wouldn't say he's amazing either.
He's still on his rookie contract.
He's still on his rookie contract, but at center that changes drastically.
Yeah,
because you don't find dudes every day that can be great at center.
I don't need a great center. I need a like Rex just put, more than serviceable. I don't need a great center right now.
I think
I don't have.
Well, I mean,
we had
that's
a
why you had
bad
the
center.
conversation about Connor Williams.
You gotta, yeah, but my thing is this: you also have to understand all the responsibilities that the center has. A lot of people think it's set, hut, block, and you make sure that the offensive line is right. He's calling out protection. He's calling out the defense. He's pointing out where the mic is. Right? Yes, the quarterback can do that as well, but for the offensive lineman has to identify that. He has just about as much responsibility as the quarterback has. Only thing that he don't got to do is worry about, okay, are we going through his progression or not? But everything that Caleb has to know, he has to know, because he has to make sure that the line is in the right protection for that. I'm worried about Ryan Bates. I don't know if Ryan, like, I love the dream scenario.
What was his?
But we did
position?
this.
What was the secondary position? Or what was
He's a right guard. He's a good right guard.
Well, guess what?
He's a good right guard.
I can see him.
But we did this.
Yeah.
Avila is the name. Yeah.
Oh, wait.
Steve Avila.
And Nate Davis is a right guard, right?
Nate Davis is a right guard.
Oh, well, there you go. You see what's happening. You see the play.
Well, no, I think
Nate Davis is gonna mess up. I'm gonna slide Bates over. Boom, took care of that problem. And guess what, Coleman? You already know what to do, baby. 1,000 snaps. Let's go ahead and rock and roll.
I mean, it sounds great, but now you got no center. You got no center depth. You know what I mean? Like I again, the scenario you paint sounds great if everybody's healthy.
That guy
but to me, it's
that guy gets injured. Kobe Shelton gets injured. Hey, Ryan Bates. Guess what? Slide on over, baby. Hey, listen, somebody fill in for this guard position. Boom, rock and roll. That's what
I hear you, but like the center position, especially with a rookie quarterback, to me, that's the most important position that you can have figured out. And I just don't think that we have that figured out, and that scares the mess out of me. And we've done this experiment.
Yeah, I feel
this is Lucas Patrick.
It's legit.
Lucas Patrick was a guard that we said could play center.
Yeah. As soon as he came in there,
he couldn't play center. As soon as he got in here, he got hurt. He was often hurt. There was some questions. I remember J-Mac throwing some questions out there as well on, like, he's hurt a little too much. Like, is he hurt, or is he sick of getting hit? You know what I mean? Like, I got too many questions with Nate Davis to me to sit there and feel, or I'm sorry, with Ryan Bates to feel comfortable about it. And that doesn't always work in history. And so, yeah, I hope it works. I think that Ryan Bates is going to be somebody fun to have on the team. And I think that he's a good piece to have to be a part of the team.
But you don't have,
like, if you feel like your center position is best case scenario, you're just wrong. Like, I don't know. You're just wrong.
Yeah.
When the guy who you feel is your backup center started 1,000 snaps at center, that means he's not a good center. When you're willing to bring in a guy and say, I know he's a guard, but let's snap him at center, that tells you all you need to know. Like, I love this dream scenario we have, but like the interior of the line is the most important. And Waddle said it best today when I was talking with him. He said, young quarterbacks oftentimes struggle more with pressure in their face than they do pressure off of the edges. He's the guy that keeps the pressure out of your face. So we'll see what he ends up being able to do. I'm worried about it. What you got, JC? Who's the guy that you're least confident in coming into camp? Did you do yours already?
I definitely did Khalil.
Oh, you did. You did Khalil. That's right.
You were last.
Was that last?
You last.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And it was a legit fear, as Rex mentioned. And I agree. I mean, hey, listen.
Now we got our sleepers.
More than fair.
Now it's time for those guys who are going to be the camp darlings, who are going to be the sleepers. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Appreciate y'all tuning in and showing love as always. Meager crowd in here today, man. The Bears talk has not been.
It ain't hitting.
It ain't been hitting yet, man. Buzz is so ready for camp, bro.
Can we get to it?
Yeah, please. Please.
Yeah,
Buzz are ready for camp, man. By the way, I'm going to be at camp a lot, so make sure that y'all are sending in your camp questions. I'll be up there probably just about every day that I can. Every day that the media can be up there and in the building and stuff like that. So y'all make sure that y'all send in your questions. Better worry about not Bates, but Nate Davis. I mean, am I least confident? I'm not. Here's the thing. I'm not least confident in Nate Davis as a player. I'm least confident in him as a freaking practice body.
Yeah.
I just don't think he's going. I don't think he wants to practice. And that sucks. But if he goes out there and has a healthy season and he's a solid right guard, I don't care. But you got to do that.
I don't like his motor. I don't like his desire. Everything that he's showing right now just doesn't scream somebody that you want on this team to compete. But I mean, yeah, if he's healthy and he's doing his job, then okay.
Yeah, I mean, like if we're being real, and Nate, and first off, that's just a storyline right now. Not to say not because of last season in his history. He's a player that's been said that he don't want to practice. But you know how that dies? If he shows up to practice every day at training camp.
There you go.
Like literally, we're just like, well, I guess we didn't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there is that aspect of it as well. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave that 5-star review. Y'all know. Let's finish it off, boys. Who are the darlings that you got? Who are the camp sleepers that you're excited to see? Who's the guy that you're like, I don't know about this guy right here, but I think he's gonna have some dog in him.
Let's do a snake draft. And we ended with you. We start with you.
Y'all in this snake draft, man. I'm not a fan.
What are we doing? Who we talking?
He basically said he finished with. Oh, whoa.
We ended with Pat. We're going to begin this segment.
Okay. Finish the last segment with me.
Oh, and then
you're going to start the first segment with me. Somebody who I feel is a sleeper in this training camp. You know what? It's somebody who I think has just been under talked about, and he had a solid start to the season. And then we kind of saw the development flatten out towards the end of the season. We have not heard anything about Zach Pickens.
Mm-hmm.
That is
And
true.
I think that everything's been around Javon Dexter.
Yeah.
Dexter's got to figure it out. Dexter's got to know what he's doing. Dexter's got to this. Dexter's got to that. And I agree with all of that. Zach Pickens was really solid to start the season last year.
Yeah.
Did a good job creating pressure up the middle. I thought that he did a good job even playing inside a little bit where backing up Andrew Billings. To me, Zach Pickens is a guy who, when I look at kind of what we saw from him, and you need to see a little bit more, but it's almost like people just expect him to stay right where he was and like he topped out. I would say that Zach Pickens to me is my sleeper coming in here, and somebody I think is going to be a little bit more of a camp darling because you know he's going to give that extra, you know he's going to go that extra mile. You know he's very similar to an Austin Booker as in a guy who doesn't have a lot of quit in him. When I see him, there hasn't been a massive body change like we saw with Javon. Javon had what did Tom Thayer call? I think he said he had baby fat last year. Yeah, I mean, he said he said he trimmed the baby fat basically, and yeah, he's jacked, he's leaner, but like I don't know if you've seen that much of a body difference from Zach Pickens, but Pickens to me I think is somebody that you got to keep an eye on because listen, when we keep saying Javon Dexter, it ain't his job yet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you think really?
That's a camp battle.
Ooh,
I believe that.
That's how important that position is. If somebody's better than him, it ain't his job. That's the most important position on that defense.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you. I love competition. I mean, you do want somebody to come in here and challenge a guy, but it just by all accounts, the way it looks like, I mean, you look at what Dexter put on film at the end of the season, then you look at the offseason. I mean, dude is jacked. It looks like he's ready to take that.
I mean, listen,
and not give it back.
He got bigger. He got leaner. He looks great, right? He looks great.
That dude is jacked.
Hey, you know who else looks great?
Who?
Dominique Robinson.
Yeah.
Looks phenomenal.
Bye, Dom.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You know what I mean? He's going to be a great special teamers this year.
Yeah, that's true.
And that's the thing. It's not a slight, but it's like, yes, you look that way, but can you play that way?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It was a bear. Was it? I'm trying to think who it was. It was a Bulls center. And my dad always talked Tom Boerwinkle. No, is it Tom Boerwinkle? Maybe it was. He said, looks like Superman, shoots like Clark Kent.
That's a bar.
You know what I mean? I think it was Tom Boerwinkle. I might be wrong on that.
I mean, that's how I felt about Tony Bradley when I saw him in person.
Pop, let me know. I know you.
What's how I felt about Tony Bradley?
I mean, it's a bunch of dudes you can feel that way about.
I
Listen,
think Tony Bradley was Superman.
I thought Tony Bradley could be a better Andre Drummond.
Until he got picked up.
I thought
until he got picked up and carried away. I said his career is over.
Hey, bro, I thought he had the potential. Like, if you looked at him running down the court, his stature and everything like that, it's like he could be Andre Drummond.
No, hold on. I said my dad quote wrong. It's actually more effed up than Elder. He said. You said
more effed up. That's crazy.
Hey, no, it's funny. Hold on. What is it? Looks like Superman. Oh, what is it? No, runs like
Lois
Superman,
Lane?
looks like Clark Kent, shoots like Lois Lane.
There you go.
That's a bar.
Hey, Pop used to say that to me. He used to have me dying, bro. He runs like Superman, looks like Clark Kent, shoots like Lois Lane. Yeah, I mean, like listen, how many dudes we seen in the NFL that look great?
Yeah.
He slimmed down, he looks great, he looks ready. Can you play?
Chase Claypool.
Hey,
Chase Claypool runs like Superman, looks like Clark Kent, catch like Lois Lane.
Yes,
or has a temper tantrum like Lois Lane.
No, it has a temper tantrum like Mary Jane. Yeah, Mary Jane is one of. I hate Mary Jane. Anybody else?
She's so.
Anybody else? She one of the dumbest.
No, because
characters in
Lois
Marvel.
Lane be testing Superman like. Oh, you're not gonna talk to me? Leap off the building.
No, that's Mary Jane. Lois don't do that. Like that's Mary. I don't remember Lois doing that.
Man, listen.
I remember Mary Jane doing that, trying to figure out if Superman loved her. She was just like, huh? I'm like, wait a minute. What if he was like, I've been trying to figure out how to get out of this situation.
So what if his depending on what Spider-Man, what if his cartridge wasn't working?
Oh, his web.
Yeah, the Mary Jane that did that, he had the webs that came out of the wrist.
That's interesting. Oh, that's funny. That's hilarious. Hey man, shout out to Pops too, by the way, man. I didn't get a chance to check on him, so shout out to him. He's good.
Oh, my Pops, yeah, he doing all right. He getting there.
This man's so disconnected right
now. Bro,
there.
I was trying to figure out. I was like, I thought you were calling somebody Pops. I was like, we got a Pops on this show. Shout out
Pops in the chat.
Pat's a Gwen Stacy. I am a Gwen Stacy guy. Now this don't have nothing to do.
Gwen Stacy was cold.
Gwen Stacy was cold, and Gwen Stacy helped. She was useful. Mary Jane is just, bro, like fam. Y'all remember? She came in there. And she was throwing a temper tantrum. I think this is Spider-Man 3. She throwing a temper tantrum about freaking how she just lost her job and how Peter won't sit there and support her. And Peter, like, it's people dying in this building up here. Like, can I go? Like, I got stuff to do. We'll talk about this later.
You knew what I was.
Like, come on, shorty.
You knew what it was.
And then she gonna ask a dumb question. He had got. I forget who it was. He ended up kissing somebody in that movie that wasn't her. And she was like, but he was in the Spider-Man. So he was like, when you were kissing her, was it Spider-Man kissing her or Peter? It was like,
it's the same person.
It's the same dude. I hate Mary Jane, bro. I'm sorry, bro. That's just a personal beef with Mary. That's my sleeper. Who's y'all sleeper, man? Who's y'all sleeper coming into this season?
My sleeper, believe it or not, and I've said this plenty of times because I think this is very pivotal, even outside of the as some people would say, the dancers on the edge. I think Keyshawn called them that. No, not Keyshawn. Who called them that?
Dancers on the edge?
He's talking about receivers. He's like the ballerinas on the edge. They look pretty. Who
called
them that? No. Michael Parsons called them
that.
Yeah. Cole Kmet. I think
Cole Kmet is a sleeper?
I think we don't.
What kind of jump do you think he's gonna have this season?
That man's gonna be Travis Kelce.
Hey, you know what I mean? Like if he's a sleeper.
I think
wake me up when I get there. You know what I mean? Like
because Shane runs a dual tight end set.
Yeah,
that's true.
And typically in a situation with a young QB, that tight end is the saving grace for a lot of them. Now you got again, we got Rome, we got Keenan and stuff like that. I'm not discrediting that, but it could be one of those situations where you could get a lot of yards on the outside, but Cole Kmet can rack up more touchdowns in those red zone situations. And that's just what I thought about. Like, who was going to be his red zone target? And I thought you got two tight ends right there who can probably get that done and you're looking for. So just based off how Shane runs it. So I'm just hopeful, but we don't talk a lot about him. We don't talk about any of our tight ends realistically.
That's facts. That's facts. We definitely don't talk about the tight end position much at all, if we're being honest. Like, we just like, they're there.
They're there.
They will catch it. Who you got, JC?
This is a guy that I have been high on since college, honestly. And he's somebody who just hasn't gotten a shot yet. And I'm hoping that he does. Now, I'm not hoping it because it probably will take somebody getting injured in front of him to get a shot. But I'm going to go with Noah Sewell. Noah Sewell from Oregon. He was actually a 5-star linebacker going into college. Dude has a lot of talent. And if you're talking about that third linebacker that could get replaced in Jack Sanborn, if Jack Sanborn goes down and Noah Sewell comes in and plays the way I think he can, he could take that third linebacker position and keep it. If you're talking about somebody who has the talent and the aggression, the ability, Noah Sewell has that over Jack Sanborn. Jack Sanborn is just one of those guys that has taken advantage of his opportunity. He knows how to get to the quarterback, or to, he has good angle pursuit. He's not the most athletic, guy in the building, but he just has a good IQ for the game. But Noah Sewell has the talent to be that kind of guy. He has that in him.
So, you found the button now.
Yeah, I found it.
There you go.
I did good, Joe.
My boy. There you go.
That's what I got.
Hey, super producer JC in the building. Hey, Joe, you better watch
Meaty,
out,
baby.
buddy.
Come on now.
Here's my thing that I think, not to say I don't want to see Noah Sewell be great, but I would rather have 100 Jack Sanborns than
I ain't mad at him.
One dude that may have upper elite athleticism and he don't know where to be.
Okay.
Jack Sanborn may not know where. Jack Sanborn may not be the fastest athlete 40 time wise. He may not be the athlete that can jump the highest. He may not be the athlete that's going to hit you the hardest. But Jack Sanborn know where to be, and I mean knows where to be before the offensive player knows where to be. You know what I mean? Like, that is invaluable to me, and I don't think that's something that I want to see taken off the field. Jack Sanborn is not a Hunter Hillenmeyer. He's not. Like he's a player who. We talk about Jack Sanborn like Jack Sanborn is a 5'2", 240. You know what I mean? Like, he's still, maybe he's what's Jack Sanborn? He's probably a 4'9", 4'8". Yeah, I mean, who cares? He can run at 4'4".
Yeah.
He knows where to be at 4'4" because he doesn't think. He's just reacting. He's just moving. So, like, Noah Sewell, listen, if Noah Sewell gets Jack Sanborn mentality, give me Noah Sewell.
That's what I'm saying.
But that's a lot.
It's a lot of
how smart Jack Sanborn is. I mean, it's Alex Caruso. Why is Alex Caruso so freaking good? It's not because of his elite athleticism and his phenomenal ability to knock down the three ball from half court.
Good comparison. Yeah.
His instincts. Yeah. Defensively, he just know, okay, I need to shift my body here. He's not thinking out there. He's just playing.
So you're saying Noah Sewell is Patrick Williams?
No, because I think Noah Sewell. He throwing. You know what's funny about him with P. Will, dog?
Wait, you okay over there?
You know what's funny about him with P. Will? He support P. Will all until it's just a little bit outside of P. Will support. And what I mean by that is when they offered P. Will 13.6 or something,
Yeah.
I said, what's the number for you that if P. Will asked for that, you wouldn't take him? And he was like 13.7. And I was like, no, that's not support, bro. Like, that's not,
what's $100,000 at this point? We're talking about millions.
Nothing more, nothing less.
Bro, what player did I mention? What player did I mention? I said somebody, and
that's how he plays Monopoly.
No, but in fact,
that's how he plays Monopoly.
But it was a player I mentioned, and he was like, I was like, man, like it was him over P. Will, and it wasn't a great player either. He was like, I'd take him. I'd be like, you really don't support P. Will. You just kind of talk like you do. You just feel like you got to support him because he on Chicago.
Bayless Jones is the P. Will.
Chicago, baby.
Oh, that's tough.
Come on, man.
Bayless Jones is P. Hey, listen, great situation coming up ahead for both of them. They both got a starting role. They both have some rule changes.
They might actually be worth their.
There's some roster changes that might work out for him. Let's see what happens. But he's the P. Will of this situation.
Well, that's hilarious, bro.
Oh, Jesus. That threw me for a loop.
Hey, dog.
Hey, listen, get your boy, bro.
Hey, man.
Get your boy.
First off, you spend more time with him than anybody. Whose boy is it?
Yeah, you're my boy. What do you
you spend
what are you talking about?
hours every week with this man outside the show.
Get your boy.
I don't see this man outside the show, which is crazy. We live distances apart. It's not because we're not friends.
I want y'all to know, like, we have a running group chat. We're all good here, but Pat lives in Timbuktu compared to where we.
First off, y'all are in Timbuktu.
That's true.
Like y'all must be talking about me like I'm not in Chicagoland suburbs.
You're in Timbuktu compared to where we are.
No, y'all, no,
We're just
you
closer to
literally
each
are in
other.
Timbuktu. I was driving by your house the other day. A tumbleweed beat me there.
Hey, that's a funny thing. Hey, no, real talk. It's a funny thing. I just saw a tumbleweed for the first time in my life.
Hey, it
Out
throws you
there.
off, bro.
It threw me up.
No,
I was
it throws
like,
you
what
off.
is this thing rolling?
Bro, it throws
And
you off. You want to know
it's a
why?
tumbleweed.
Because you would swear it's alive.
It's just a big,
You would swear it's alive. It's just rolling.
it's just a big rolling pile of
Rolling,
sticks.
rolling,
Like I don't
rolling.
even know what it was. It's just
Bro,
tumbling.
it's just
I
a
was
weed.
like,
It's just a tumbling weed.
yeah, but it looked like if it hit my
Bro,
car, it'd do
hey.
damage.
Bro, but you would swear watching it move because it'll like go and then it'll stop and
then
move
move
like this
again.
way and this way. And then it'll start going again. It'd be like, have I missed it? Is a tumbleweed an animal? Did I miss that?
Hey, I got a random topic. It's off sports, but it's
It checks out for this show.
It's sports related. Y'all ready? If
Uh-oh.
you could go back to one time period, like relive one moment, it could be a game or anything like that. What would it be?
Anything in the 1970s up, because before that time, that was a tough time for us.
Come on, Pat. Play the game.
I'm just saying,
Come
dog.
on, play
I'm
the game.
just
First
saying,
off,
bro.
You would have passed. Stop playing with me, dog. Like,
Yeah, all right.
You would have shaved the beard.
Hey,
Anyway,
they'd have seen my
man.
dad and been like, phenomenal. Wait a minute.
To set the scene, I'm gonna go first. For me, it's June of '96.
If you could have played in any game.
No. If you could just go back and be
watch.
a witness of those moments. So
Oh,
two
okay.
things happened in June of '96. Mike wins his third ring. I would have loved to see that. Like, I mean, that Mike era, you don't get like there hasn't been much hype in Chicago that will rival that outside of Caleb doing well for the Bears. Like nothing really rivals that. And at the same time, like, so I would love to have seen that. I'd love to have seen that in person. 10 days later, Jay-Z drops Reasonable Doubt. So Mike wins his third. Jay-Z drops Reasonable Doubt, top 5 album all time by many people.
But it wasn't then, though. Reasonable Doubt took a minute to hit.
No, Reasonable Doubt got 4
Did it
mics.
hit? Did it hit?
It got 4 mics immediately. It hit.
Immediately? I thought Reasonable Doubt, because Black Album was his first that dominated, and I feel like people caught on with Black Album, and then Reasonable Doubt got its credit.
No, so the source gave Reasonable Doubt 4 mics. It hit.
What did Reasonable Doubt do his first few weeks?
I mean, he's.
I don't think Reasonable Doubt did good numbers, bro.
No.
I don't even know.
From a cultural standpoint, it hit.
I mean, listen, I think that it was a good. I think people listen to him like it's a good album, but I don't think it. I don't think it had the. I don't think it had the. I don't think it had the culture like Black Album did. Like Black Album had the culture.
But Black Album was when we were conscious enough to know what the music was. So we like really leaning upon what we saw the people we were around and how they reacted to it. At that time, I remember listening and hearing Can I Live for the first time. And it was like, oh, I like that. And I remember that. I remember where I was and what we were doing. And I was a shorty. I was along for the ride. It wasn't like I was like whatever, but like I was the kid that hung out with all my older cousins and stuff like that. And I just remember hearing that song.
Yeah, I get you. And I'm not saying it's not a phenomenal album. I just think that first week it did 43,000 copies.
But you got to remember, he released it as an independent.
I get you, but I'm just saying I don't think that it had I don't think it had the culture. I don't know if it you might have liked it, but that is a fact, Rajan. You might have liked it, but I don't know if it would have been
I never said it was number one.
As monumental. You know what I mean? Because it's like when everybody's in on it, that's when it's like it's a shift. Like when DMX dropped the
greatest 4 album run ever, though. Bro, listen, Jesus, that man.
I don't know, bro. Hey, listen, I'm not a Drake
greatest
fan.
4 album run ever.
I'm not a Drake fan, but Drake had a run, bro. Drake had the greatest run in hip hop of all time.
I agree with that.
Drake had the greatest run in hip hop of all time.
I also
it's crazy to say.
I think the shift in music definitely helped that,
but when he dropped It's Dark and Hell Is High, like that had the culture.
Oh yeah. That was 98 though, right?
That was 98.
98.
You know what I mean?
So you gotta think about that. So for you, it could be 98. Mike
No,
wins his last ring.
I was just saying,
That's
like,
bro, that was a year.
yeah.
What else happened in 98?
98 was crazy. Hey,
98.
DMX dropped twice in 98. You know that, right?
Yeah, he was the first to do that. Too.
DMX
they both went
DMX
platinum,
dropped
yeah.
"It's Dark and Hell Is Hot" and "Fresh in My Blood." Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a good year. That was a good year.
X different, bro.
That's a good question.
How X had a time. You know what's crazy? And this may sound sappy or whatever.
What you got?
I would want to go back to 2006, 2005 with the White Sox as an adult.
Dang, okay.
Because I don't feel like I got to enjoy that as much as I could have. Musically, I mean, Muzz was dropping in 05. I think it was 05 is Luda. T.I. Oh my God. T.I. was dropping musically. It's a whole different you did.
50 Cent was still hot.
But
Kanye was on a run.
I don't think I got to enjoy that as much as I wanted to. And I was there. I mean, I went to a couple of the games as well. Like I went to the game in was that ALCS, I think, when the ball went through Tony Graffinino's legs. I went to that game. So I got to be a part of it. I was in the environment, but when you're 10, you know, you still got to go to bed at freaking 11:30. You know what I mean? We got school in the morning. But I didn't, like, as an adult, I would love to be in that moment and actually get to take that in, because I mean, that's, if we're being honest, it was just such a different time too. Like I could also do the Blackhawk championships.
Yep.
But that one for me was one, first off, is one I think I'll never get again.
There's 3 of them.
Baseball is just,
well, no, I'm talking about the White Sox. I don't think I'll ever get that again. We might get another Stanley Cup with the team that we putting together, but we'll never get that again. The Stanley Cup moments for me, they're nostalgic, but I was old enough to understand them. And at that point, I was a teenager. So I shouldn't have been, but you know, I was in. I guess. But my favorite one is in Boston when we scored the 2 goals in 16 seconds, 17 seconds.
Oh, to win it?
Yeah, to win it. Because my guy Mathan was sitting right here, and I literally was like shaking his shoulder, like, bro, I want the Stanley Cup tonight. I don't want game 7. Bang! Oh! Like we lost our mind. We running around the bar. And now it's tied. It's like, oh, dog, we finna get it in overtime. Bang! Oh my God! Like it was literally like, what's happening? Like that's one of my favorite all-time. I couldn't believe we had won that freaking Stanley Cup.
I wish I was into hockey. Like
that's when I got into it.
Because that was a moment for me. Like I started paying attention to it more, but I wasn't a real fan. I was a casual. Like, you know, it's like, oh, I'm a casual. It's like, oh, we won. Like, what did we win? Stanley Cup. Okay, what? Like, it was a big deal for everyone around me but me, and I was just like, okay. I
think here's what I'll say. I love the Blackhawks, and I understand hockey. I understand, of course, my dad being my dad. Like, I understand everything I need to know about hockey to like know the sport, but I'm a casual.
Okay,
I couldn't tell you who plays for the Boston Bruins right now. You know what I mean? Like that to me is a casual. When like you look at teams around the league and it's like, who does he play for? Like, I don't know.
Who's you got, JC?
For me, actually, I'm going the same year. You mentioned 05. I didn't think 05 was actually a really, really good year for Chicago spords, but in general,
it was a phenomenal year for sport. Didn't the Bulls upset the Pistons that year?
Hold on 1 second.
When it came to, I don't remember. I don't know.
Ain't that the year like the Pistons? No, because they did. No, because the Pistons went back to the finals.
When?
Pistons went back to back, right?
In
04-05.
Was it versus the Lakers?
05. They played the Lakers. They played the Lakers in 04.
They played the Lakers in 04 and won. They lost in 05 versus Spurs, right?
Okay, so 05. Okay.
So it wasn't that year. So the Bulls might have been solid, but it wasn't that year.
Dynasty we never talked about.
Right. But in particular, March 26, 2005, I know exactly where I was. That was when Illinois came back against Arizona. 14-point.
That was
deficit,
the worst.
3 minutes and 20 seconds left. I mean, we're talking about going from one emotion to another. I was 17 and I was at my friend's house. We're watching it just like, well, whatever. We'll just watch it through. And then literally everything that had to happen right for Illinois happened. I mean, you're talking about a random miracle still here or still there. them inbounding the ball and D Brown catching it and stealing it, throwing it over to Deron Williams, him going around the pick and hitting that three to tie the game. That was nuts. Bill Murray was in the crowd. I remember all those little details, and it was just something that I wish I could relive because it was just so exciting to see it happen. Of course, they didn't make it against Rashad McCants and those stinking Tar Heels, but they made it to the championship. But that in particular was really good to me, 90-89.
I like that one.
It's that finals is the only sporting event I've ever cried at.
The UNC Illinois,
the NCAA championship, because them refs was cheating.
Yep.
Oh, they was cheating.
You know what? Who I wish I
Trollops.
I could.
Trollops.
The Sammy Sosa, Mark McGwire home run.
I remember that though. I remember it,
but I wish I could see it, feel that again, because I lived on the north side when they were.
Yeah.
And so everything was, to be honest, was weird because I think this was goes into the racial aspect of Chicago. It was obviously a lot of Cubs fans up north, but it was a huge Mark McGwire follow. Everybody it was like this.
It's a lot of St. Louis fans here too, though.
Okay,
it's an ungodly amount of St. Louis fans here.
So like the fights that you would see and hear, even amongst the kids at that time, was crazy.
Yeah.
And I wish I was old enough for that. Like I wanted to be a part of. I would love to have been in the stadium to see him hit one or two. Because Sammy was Sammy couldn't do no wrong with Chicago for a good minute. So
Sammy still shouldn't do no wrong. I mean, his skin is wrong.
Sammy,
but outside of that,
I don't recognize him now.
His skin is wrong. Sound crazy if you don't know what's going on with Sammy. If we've been 100% honest, that sound nuts. It's like, whoa, Pat's racist. No.
Go look it up.
Go look up Sammy's skin, bro. That man turned into a seal.
If we vibe
Sammy the seal.
It's
really a deer. It's 90, 89, 99. Oh, what a steal!
You stupid dog.
Hey, shout out to the Fresh Prince fans out there, dog.
I'm not gonna lie. I remember somebody saying Sammy turned into Neapolitan ice cream. Strawberry to vanilla. It was ridiculous.
We're not going to get ourselves canceled talking about Sammy.
Hey, we can't get canceled talking about something Sammy did to himself, bro. Sammy was black when we grew up.
If we vibing for a second, is there anyone's career you wish you appreciated more now that you've seen it come to an end?
Derrick Rose.
Oh, come on.
That's a good one though. Because you didn't expect it. Like it literally went from like championship hopes to it's over.
It's in a blink of an eye.
Like legitimately. Like it went from championship hopes to like, that was the end of that.
Yeah.
And it's the only good basketball you've seen outside of 35 games in 20 years.
Besides the MVP, which is a big deal. I'm not trying to belittle it.
Yeah.
It's the Brandon Roy story.
Because Brandon Roy was never healthy though. Brandon Roy, from the time he came in to the time he started getting bigger injuries, was always in and out of the lineup.
Yeah, I get that.
So it was like Derrick was just like, Derrick's injuries were literally like, I tried to kill somebody. Like Dwight Howard sprained his wrist twice.
Yeah.
Because Derrick kept trying to dunk on him. I remember we played the Magic the first time. He tried to dunk on him. Dwight blocked it and like knocked Derrick to the ground. He sprained his wrist. And then I want to say 4 weeks later, we played the Magic again. And I was like, don't try to dunk on him, please. Because he too big, bro. Like this was when Dwight was becoming Dwight. And freaking, he tried to dunk on him again. He was like, oh, you broke my wrist last time. I got you. Dwight sprained his wrist again. It's the only dude he didn't get.
Wait a minute. What? Say your question again, because I feel like I'm coming up with another name too that I feel like I should say. You basically
said, whose career do you wish you appreciated more?
Like while it was happening.
Okay.
Whose career and accomplishments did you wish? Because I think we've all, for me, especially being in a town, we always prefer. I went to Beasley. Like I was up close and personal with Pooh. Like I always had high appreciation for it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think somebody's career who I did,
and it don't have to be a Chicago person.
I had
for me, I'm gonna tell you, and it's gonna sound weird. I don't think I appreciated what Tiger Woods did enough.
Oh, my dad had golf on all the time. And Tiger was I see Tiger do dumb stuff, bro. I remember Tiger hit a chipping wedge and immediately started cussing himself out, and it bounced off the pole and went in. It was like, pow, mother, dang it. Boop. It's like, oh, this
How
dude
did he do
cold.
that?
Like,
Yeah.
he's different.
How did
I
he
can
do
go
that?
I
down
can
to-
see that though. If you didn't pay attention to the runs, I can see
like
that.
he's one of the most dominant golfers of all time.
Yeah.
And we kind of just spoke about him like a novelty because he was black. But like realistically, what he did was like,
Tiger was black.
like dog, he's like legitimately the first athlete billionaire. Like he was the first athlete billionaire, black athlete billionaire. Through his sponsorship stuff like that, he crossed the Billy in net worth before Mike did. Years before Mike
Magic
did.
was the first athlete billionaire.
He crossed it before Magic. Magic didn't cross it before.
Magic had team ownership before
Mm-mm.
before Tiger crossed the bill.
They didn't give him. He had minority team, and then they the way he valued out, it was high hundreds. Don't get me wrong. He wasn't broke.
yeah.
He wasn't broke, but
I thought Magic was the first one to cross the Billy as an athlete, but I might be wrong.
and Richard Hamilton.
Mm.
Yeah,
F1.
Rip Hamilton.
Like you appreciate it a little
F1.
more than you should. Yeah.
Oh, a racer.
Racer.
I thought you were talking about Rip Hamilton.
Nah. See,
Wait.
I don't even know who Richard Hamilton is, so
Sir Hamilton, the racer, the black racer,
no clue.
Really?
drove for Mercedes.
Yeah, I got nothing.
See, he's still active.
I didn't know that.
If you look at his,
Put me
Shout
on.
out to him.
he's the most
Yeah.
dominant.
Sponsored by Blue Chew.
He's the most sponsored. He's one of the most dominant F1 athletes ever.
I couldn't. I'm gonna be honest with you.
And once I fought you,
I don't think I
started
could
to-
name you an F1 athlete.
I mean,
I don't think I can name one F1 athlete.
I would drive. I mean, drive. I say drive, but they're really athletes. The way they have to condition. And
To
stuff
be
like
honest
that.
with you, the only NASCAR
Mario
dude I can
Andretti.
think of that I think is still active is freaking Bubba Watson, and he sucks.
Yeah, I mean, I did pay attention to like Jeff Gordon and what's the
That's back in the day,
I
though.
said
yeah.
Rich. I'm sorry. It's Lewis. It's Lewis,
Lewis
Hamilton.
Hamilton.
Lewis
said-
Hamilton.
I said
okay.
Rich. I'm thinking basketball.
Rip
I'm sorry.
Hamilton.
But Luke, like the last couple of years, I've been diving into it and really diving
Shout
into
out
like
to you.
cars
Use
and like,
protection.
stuff like that. From
Yeah.
Jesus,
Yeah,
Sponsored by
Um,
Blue Chew.
I
I gotta get
didn't
Blue Chew back
I
on the
didn't
five.
realize-
There's too many moments.
I didn't realize how dominant he was. I was like, oh, this is a black racer. Let me check out what Buddy doing.
Yeah.
Like because I think isn't Bubba NASCAR though?
Bubba's NASCAR, but he's not good. That's all
Yeah,
I know.
Bubba's NASCAR.
Every time I hear, the only thing I know about Bubba Watson over the last 10 years as far as racing is he thought that the freaking pull you dig in his locker, which was for, I don't even remember what it was for, but it was something that's in like every locker in NASCAR all the time, was a noose.
You know who
That's the only thing I know Bubba Watson for.
Yeah,
I just realized. You know who I didn't appreciate that. Okay, I'm gonna go Matt Forte.
That's a good one.
I don't
like
think
that.
I appreciated.
That's
Matt
a good
Forte.
one.
He was faster than I thought he was. He's swifter than I thought he was a better running back than I actually gave him credit for.
Matt Forte is probably the third best running back from that generation of backs.
Facts.
And that's crazy to say because the first two are what? AP. LT?
Adrian and
wasn't Shady,
LaDainian?
was it
Yeah.
Shady in that era?
Matt Forte was better
No,
than Shady McCoy.
Shady came later. Shady's a little younger than those guys.
Shady's definitely younger than them, but Matt Forte was better than Shady McCoy.
Yeah, Shady was just flashier.
No, like Matt Forte was not only Matt
He was
Forte.
a better catching back.
He was also a better
No,
running
he's a better
back.
runner. He just didn't wow you with everything he did.
And he was
Shady
what's
was just
Matt
more
Forte? How
shiftier.
tall is Matt Forte? 6 foot? 6'1"?
Yeah,
He ain't small.
No, he wasn't.
He ain't that tall though.
No, for a running back.
For a running back, that's huge,
Oh,
dog.
Yeah, let me.
Matt Forte height. Shout out Matt Forte with the IG pick.
Yeah, 6'1".
6'2".
There you go. Oh well, yeah.
Google got him 6'2".
There you go. That's decent. height
Matt
right there.
Forte was a dog, bro. Like
Yeah.
I literally started going back, and I was like, I was trying to think of backs that were better than him from that generation. And I was like, Reggie Bush, you could put up there because of the bowl,
Hmm.
but even Reggie is a little bit after that.
I always
Um,
thought Reggie's career was overhyped.
Reggie was cold.
No, Reggie.
I thought it
Reggie
was
Bush
overhyped.
was cold. No,
Yeah.
Reggie Bush was cold down in New Orleans. He
Like
was
one of the
ridiculous.
worst trades ever.
Detroit version was
Matt
nice, too.
Forte was over 220 pounds. Yes, bro.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Matt Forte was it's tough to find better backs than that. Like the better backs that you find, you're like, yeah, like, but that's one of the greatest running backs
Of all
to
time.
ever touch a football.
What did his career end up being? Like
Who,
I don't know.
Matt's?
I don't know his numbers.
He's a 796 yards total. Close to 10.
He in the hall?
No, he's not a Hall of Famer.
No.
Yeah, 9,700 rushing yards. He had
All pro.
4,600 receiving yards.
There you go.
That's nuts.
Yeah,
He caught the football at a 76% clip.
That's also nuts.
Matt Forte was a dog,
Yeah,
bro.
he's very reliable.
He had how many 1,000-yard seasons, man? Because 1,000 yards back then
there was a benchmark.
was actually an accomplishment. 1,
Five?
2, 3, 4,
4,
5.
5.
He had a 1,200-yard rushing season his rookie year.
He was 3 away from 6. He had 997 and 11.
54 touchdowns rushing. He had how many receiving touchdowns? He had 21 receiving touchdowns. No, Matt Forte was a dog, bro.
Yeah.
Matt Forte was a freaking dog. Dog.
2-time Pro Bowler.
There it is. Let's see. Before we get up out of here, the career I wish I got a chance to appreciate more.
I got one I hate to say too. Please say that. I hate to say this one. He's still playing.
You know what who I'm gonna say? And this is
LeBron James.
Yeah.
LeBron
Really?
James.
Yeah.
Young LeBron.
That you didn't appreciate?
Because I appreciated how good LeBron. I treated LeBron how I treated Kobe. I hated Kobe his whole career.
I did at first.
I hated Kobe
You're
his
right.
whole career.
I did it.
But
first.
I
Yeah.
always respected the player that he was. So it's not like I guess I shouldn't say I didn't appreciate him, but like I didn't look at LeBron. I looked at LeBron as the dude to stop my team from winning over looking at him as a phenomenal basketball player.
Same. I can get with that.
I didn't believe in a Bulls organization to be tied that deep. For me, it was the narratives that kept surrounding him. And from a very early age, I never liked that. I never liked the whole, like Kobe wanted that smoke with Mike. He wanted to be compared to Mike. And I've appreciated that about him and his journey. He wanted that type of comparison. And you can't mention one without the other at this particular point. Even Mike has said it. But LeBron was a totally different beast.
You know what? You know why? That's the one thing I don't respect about LeBron. It's the one thing I don't respect about LeBron. LeBron care. He cares to be compared to Mike.
He should.
But he act like he don't. Kobe didn't hide it. Kobe was like, I'm chasing 6.
Yeah.
I ain't going to get 11. But I played against him. I talked to him every day.
Yeah.
And I wanted people to know that I'm better than him. I'm chasing 6. LeBron, like, we don't really, need to get into GOAT conversation. I feel like in my mind, there's never been a player better than me who even comes close to me. But, it's just, it's like, no, just say it. Just say I'm better than Michael Jordan. Because to me, if you say it, it's like, boom, now we know where you stand.
I wish LeBron had Kevin Durant's confidence.
Yeah, because Kevin Durant will probably
when Kevin Durant sit there and say, "You know who I am, I'm Kevin Durant, bro. It's the coldest. It was the coldest bar. You know who I am."
But see, to me, the problem is
Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant is that to the media. LeBron is he won't be that to the media. LeBron will be that to Muggs on the court though.
Yeah,
and that's what I love about him.
Yeah.
Even at this age, LeBron will sit there and be like, "Are we talking? No, see you talking." My favorite one is who was talking trash to him in Memphis? Dylan Brooks, right? Dylan Brooks was talking trash to him. He didn't go out to Dylan Brooks because Dylan Brooks wasn't in the way. He dunked on Jaren Jackson the next play. Bro, he said, that ain't basketball. You talking stuff. Ball.
Down.
Hey, bro, he said, ball. He wasn't even the point guard on this team. He wasn't the point guard.
Coast to coast,
bro said,
that man,
ball. Got the ball. Jared's sitting there, he like, shut up.
I do. Hey, he talking to you. Don't dunk on me. Like, bro, that's my best. That's my best moment of his. That's one of my best.
Yeah.
He has so many moments. He has so many moments that I think I was just so stuck in the comparison and they made him the GOAT and stuff like that, as opposed to just appreciating the fact that, man, this is a generational talent.
Yeah.
This dude at 22 is bodying. He's what we wanted Zion to be.
Yeah.
Zion was supposed to be the second coming of LeBron. Young LeBron was that dude.
I think he's lived up to everything that you wanted LeBron to be.
I'm going to always have Kobe in the conversation, but as an all-around player, I have to admit LeBron is a better all-around player.
Yeah.
But even Kobe said it. He does stuff I don't focus on. I'm shooting. And I appreciate that about Kobe. I appreciate that about Melo. That ball's in the air.
Yeah, Melo is
You know what is happening.
Putting it up.
Hey, 3-point line, mid-range.
I think the cool thing about like how I've always been is I've always had it, and it's why you'll never hear me be one of them that like I'm sitting here trying to tear down the previous era to build up a player. Like I don't tear down any of the players that came before MJ because I think MJ is great. I don't tear down none of the players that came after MJ because I think MJ is great. I think they're all great. The reason I hated LeBron is because he stopped Derrick Rose from winning.
Yeah,
like that was it.
That's another reason.
That's the only reason. It had nothing. It had nothing to do with Michael Jordan. It had everything to do with dang it, we can't beat this dude.
Get out of his way.
Why is Luol Deng guarding him? And Luol's one of the best people to guard him in the league. Actually, it's like that was a solid defensive effort on 35 tonight. You know what I mean? Like, but that was.
Is there any moment that I mean, you can never avoid the conversation, but is there any one moment where you just like avoided comparing him to Mike? Is it something that Mike did that you're like, yeah, LeBron ain't did that, or is just like you just don't do it at all? Because it's one moment for me. It has nothing to do with me watching LeBron. It was watching someone else watch both players.
What you mean?
I tell you this. So my daughter has been watching games with me forever. She's seen LeBron. She's seen Kobe. She had never seen Michael Jordan. She watched Michael Jordan with me. I was watching the 91 NBA Finals. I was rewatching it. And she said, why does he glide through the air like that? And like, no joke, y'all can ask Lexi when you see her. She said, why does he glide through the air like that? Like, I don't see people do that. Mind you, this is a kid who's grown up in the modern era with iPads and stuff like that. She's seen John Morant. She's seen all these players glide through the air. But when she saw Mike, not knowing who he was, I just said, just watch it. She asked herself, why does he glide? It's like he's floating.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, so that's real. Because I remember the first time I saw it, I was like, I think there's something different about how he
think
fly.
I can't compare LeBron to that because 6'8" dunking don't look as impressive. Yeah. And really, LeBron is probably much taller than 6'8", but for some reason we give him 6'8".
You heard what John Sally
said. John Sally said he my height. He said he's looking me out of
7 feet.
I forgot John Sally was 7 feet, to be honest with you, until he said that. I was like, John Sally was taller than him.
Boys and everybody looking up there. I was like, what the heck?
Look, Will Smith is 6'3", ain't he? Yeah, I guess so. That makes sense. I can't compare that. Yeah, like 6'8" dunking just don't look impressive.
Yeah.
Because you halfway there. Like LeBron can like jump on his like nowhere and grab the rim.
Yeah, but 6'8" is only 2 inches taller than 6'6".
Yeah, but 6'6".
And you know who was
6'6" jumping from the free throw line look a lot better than 6'8" jumping. And LeBron wingspan is longer. You know what I mean?
But I mean, I think John Kemp was the same size as LeBron, and I remember he could fly. I remember vividly him flying.
But I think here's the thing: LeBron can fly.
He can.
LeBron has killed people.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like I'm not like that's the thing. It's not.
I get what you're saying.
Mike is impressive.
It's a different position. It's hard to compare.
It's hard to compare them for me. I think the only thing that to me LeBron gets the edge, but it is there's
Brown with a 44-inch vert at 6'8".
It's nuts, bro. You know what I mean? Like, jeez. But I think here's the thing that I've always given Brian the edge on, and that I think is under talked about, even though everybody knows he's a phenomenal passer. LeBron has top 5 greatest vision to ever be in the NBA.
Facts.
LeBron sees things on the court. Like that's the one. Michael didn't have that. Michael's vision was I'm gonna get to this bucket. Michael didn't see. Michael's vision was eliminating people that were in front of him and seeing the basket. LeBron James, like, if we really wanted to have a conversation, he's a top 5 point guard. If you played him at the point guard position,
I agree with you.
Which I will do in the Breeze tournament to cook all y'all.
Didn't take advantage of that ability as much as LeBron did because his mentality
MJ was a
kill
scorer.
kill you in different ways. Then LeBron was always more passive. I feel like I've seen highlights where MJ can do some crazy stuff.
It's not to say he
The
can't.
91
Can't
NBA
is
Finals.
different. Can't is different.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that Michael has no vision.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that because there's things on the court Michael Jordan is going to see that nobody else is going to see.
Yeah.
Right? Michael Jordan is the one that's yelling at Steve Kerr, be ready because they're going to double me off of this play. You pop out, I'm going to find you.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan finds him, right? That's how they win a championship.
Yeah.
So, like, it's not to say that Michael didn't have vision, but LeBron James, like, if he played point guard, like, we would be sitting here having a conversation about, is he better than Magic Johnson? Who's believed to be the greatest point guard of all time?
I've always compared LeBron to him.
Mhm.
He's just a bigger, more offensively gifted Magic Johnson. Because
can see
watching
that.
Magic Johnson, which that's another thing. I don't know what year I would pick. But you go
It
back
don't matter.
you go back and watch young Magic, bro. That had to be a time, bro.
Bro,
That
yeah.
had to be a
Yeah.
time. Like
Yeah.
Lakerland, when Magic is running the show, I had to be a time.
Well,
bro.
he ain't even Lakerland.
Bro.
He ain't even Lakerland.
Hey,
dog.
according to him, it was. Listen, like
Yeah, Magic
had
was
to be a
different, bro.
time.
Magic was different, bro. But I think that's the thing for me where it's like I would never compare that because it's a skill set that you don't see, you don't talk about, you don't pay attention to as much because like you just expect him to do it. And when you get used to seeing stuff, it's just like, oh, he just does that. But like LeBron's vision is like LeBron dissects defenses.
Mhm.
Like in a disrespectful way. And then like if the defense is like, we're not gonna let nobody else score but you, he like, that's fine too.
Yeah,
That's a skill that you don't see every
I just
day.
hope we go back to it. I don't know when we lost it. I don't. In my entire lifetime, we've always had this comparison thing, but I hope we get to a space where we just appreciate the athletes as they are, because the way things are going, the way things are changing in the world of sports, we're seeing more and more phenomenal acts. Like there's Steph Curry is.
I
phenom.
don't think we'll get there because the conversation in sports talk now is to always down the person who anybody who's not your player.
I mean, yeah.
I think that time is like there was a time where, and I get it, MJ fans did this with Kareem, and like it always happens, but like now it's like you don't even appreciate the players who are in the league with the players you're watching, right? I saw somebody on Twitter the other day who was like a clear Bron fan, and he was talking about Mataz Buzila, or who was talking about Cooper Flagg, because Cooper Flagg said the best team in the league in history was the 85-86 Celtics. And he was like, this dude never saw the 85-86 Celtics, didn't watch 1 second of it live and think they're the best team in the league. Media is terrible. And it's like, what are you talking about?
You don't have to watch. I didn't
watch a second of Walter
YouTube.
Payton. I know he's one of the greatest running backs to ever grab a football.
Absolutely.
I didn't watch a second. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not to say I didn't watch a second. I didn't watch it live.
I didn't watch.
We're in a generation.
time.
We're in a generation now where it's like, if I didn't see it, it didn't happen. And I think that's why we'll
Even
never
if
get
it's
the
on film.
appreciation. Right? You know what I mean?
Even if it's on
Like
film.
if I didn't see it, it didn't happen. And that's why, like it's an out of sight, out of mind mentality for anything that came before or after what was great.
Yeah, and it's funny because in this whole conversation, like LeBron is the stud of his generation, realistically.
Yeah.
That takes away from Chris Paul, who is a top 5 point guard all time. No one's going to sit there. No one's having that conversation. They're all finding ways to poke holes in his career. Kevin Durant is a top 5 small forward. Well, top 10 small forward. Well, no, top 5 small forward all time.
I go 5. Yeah.
He's a top 5, nearly 30,000 points.
Chris Paul top 5.
Chris Paul is definitely top 5.
Point guard?
Point guard, definitely top 5.
Magic.
Thomas.
Isaiah.
I would say Magic, Isaiah.
No, let me take it back. Magic, Steph, Isaiah. I can't. Steph passed Isaiah.
Rings matter.
Steph
For me, rings matter.
I think just as a player, Steph passed Isaiah to me. Steph could just I feel like Steph is one of those players where it was like everybody's like, he's not a passer. If Steph wanted to sit there and pass and pick you apart all day, he could. We've watched the 10 plus assists.
I mean, I could
games.
get the same thing if Mike wanted to pick you apart passing, he could. He averaged a double
for sure,
in the
for sure.
finals.
But it wasn't Steph's focus. But like people try to say that like he's not a point guard, he's a shooting guard. I'm like, no, he's a point guard.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm kind of in that conversation because I'm like, I don't know Steph as a point guard. I know Steph as a shooter.
You
know him.
You know Steph is a shooter because that's what he does. You don't know Mike as a passer either. You know Mike is a scorer.
Listen,
Don't mean that he can't do it.
I ain't say he couldn't do it. Hey, but if you say, "Oh, Mike is top passer all time," I'm like, I don't know. We talking about the same Mike. But I wouldn't have that conversation. I'm like, hey, Mike ain't in that conversation, my boy, because Mike is putting that ball in the air. Like that's.
I mean, listen, he putting it in the air, but there's no question Steph's a point guard because he ain't tall enough to be a 2.
I mean, neither was Allen Iverson, who was shorter than him, and he's a 2.
Allen Iverson a 2 that had the ball in his hand every play though. Like Allen was bringing the ball.
Allen Iverson was a point guard.
Yeah, Allen was a point guard. You know what I mean?
But they made him a 2 because of how he played.
Yeah, but I don't care. He was the point guard. No, because Steph brings the ball up.
Yeah, Eric Snow was
time out. Steph brings the ball up to like the 3-point line on the opposite side, passes it to Draymond to set the offense, runs around in circles for 1,001 times, and he gets some. Listen, it's not hate. He really does it.
Listen,
he really does.
He's to me, I would say
that's not a point guard.
But I think what
Draymond run the play. What's the play? Steph, get open. How's it getting open? Screen, elevator doors. Pass. That's what it is.
That don't mean that Steph don't pass.
Come on. You know what I'm saying.
How many assists Steph average? 7?
6?
7 assists a game or something like that?
Like 6.
Like, I'm just saying.
How much does Draymond average?
Hold on. Because here's the thing. If that's the case, there's 2 point guards in the whole NBA.
I get what you're trying to say. I know where you're going with this.
Yeah,
I know where you're going with
I'm just saying, if we're talking about pass first guys, and it's something that score, right? Hallie's a point guard.
Hallie's a
point guard. De'Aaron Fox is a point guard that, by your standards, ain't a point guard.
De'Aaron Fox is a point guard.
Exactly.
De'Aaron Fox. No, he's not.
But exactly. You see what I'm saying?
He's not a point guard.
You see what I'm saying?
He's not a point guard.
So it's like, are we sitting here just only traditional mugs get on this list, or do we eliminate everybody who's on a, like right now?
This solves it.
Russ,
point guard.
Harden.
Now
Shooting.
point guard.
Now point guard.
I
mean, really, he been averaging 10 assists for like 10 years, bro. Like point guard.
Point guard.
Hallie.
Point guard.
Paul.
Point guard. What are you doing?
Who else?
LaMelo.
Point guard.
Point guard. Lonzo.
Point guard. Drew Holiday. Point guard.
Yeah.
Patrick Beverly. Point guard. Jalen Brunson.
Point guard.
Jalen Brunson don't fit your definition.
He don't fit my. He's a scoring guard.
But he's a point guard.
Jamal Murray.
Don't fit your definition.
Nah, he's more of a shooting guard.
No,
he's more of a 2.
Don't fit your definition.
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
That's
like
the combo.
That's what I'm
guard
saying. Like
thing.
the position has changed so much that I can't take Steph off of that list because of it. But I guess back to the original point. Like if we go in, to me, I would say top 5 point guards. Magic.
Well, we started with small forwards. But
You said Magic.
Well,
Steph.
no, because you said CP3. I said a CP3 top 5. I Magic, Steph, Isaiah. Give me Stock. It's like I hate when people are like, he's not top 5 anymore.
If Stock is there, CP is right behind him because he's the only person who has the stats like Stock.
Give me Russ over Stock. Or give me Russ over CP.
Absolutely not. They both ain't got rings either.
The triple-double record?
They both ain't got rings. Stockton ain't got the triple-double record.
Matty Legend, of course, we would want Rose up there, but if
I know what you're saying, the triple-double.
And Russ been further. Well, no. Yeah, they've been in the same spot. I would say Russ been further in the playoffs, but they both got to the finals.
The triple-double record don't mean anything when we're talking about. You're talking
but
about.
Russ was a phenomenal passer, and CP is too. I guess CP is higher up on assists.
CP has more assists.
I think CP.
I think he has 4 assist titles and 3 steal champ titles.
CP might be.
Hey, CP's numbers are nuts when you look at it.
CP might be top 5. I just don't like CP3.
I don't like it. I'm not a C. I'm not a like.
Oh no! I tweaked. Russ is out too. J Kid.
Jason
Kidd is a better point
I
guard
got
than
CP.
Chris
I
Paul.
got CP.
Give me
over-
Jason Kidd.
I got CP over Chris Paul.
I'll take Jason.
Jason Kidd.
I'll take Jason.
Give me Jason Kidd
I'll
over
take
Chris
Crumb
Paul.
Jason. Yeah.
I got CP over.
Hey, Andre Miller's 12th assists all time. That's impressive.
That's a very impressive.
That's
Andre was
impressive to
Nice
know.
for in his prime.
Hey man, we appreciate y'all too. Oscar top 10 still. He not top 5 to me.
Yeah.
It's too many point guards that have come in that are game changers now.
Hey, that's another thing you got to talk about too. Oscar was listed as a shooting guard in a lot of those things too.
Not on Basketball Reference, I don't think, was it? I think Oscar played point guard every season.
Every
Hey,
season.
while we giving everybody their flowers, I do want to mention something, and we don't want to end too much on a bad note, but at the same time, I saw some people mention this in the chat earlier. Monty Kiffin,
You're right.
he passed today. at
Oh, I hate
84.
to see that.
Oh, man.
Key architect of the Tampa 2 scheme for the
Yeah.
Buccaneers, who won the Super Bowl.
Rest in power,
yeah.
man.
Him and his family, shout out to them. Prayers up for them.
He did the Joe thing on me, dog.
Finished out with on a dark note.
I was thinking not to do that, but I was like, I feel
no,
bad.
that's
if
a
we
good one
didn't
though. That's a
mention
good
it.
one. Monty
I feel-
Kiffin was
yeah, I feel
first
like-
off Lane's father. So prayers up to Lane Kiffin, but a monumental member of football society.
Yeah, that
It's
defense
not-
was nice
no,
for a minute.
You know why? And this is I have to finish this off camera. You know why I'm laughing? It's not about what he said. It's about why. It's never mind. Can we shout out to that family?
Is the timing?
Stop. Just move on, bro. Just move on.
I don't even know what he said. So hey,
Because
It is what it
Joe
is.
randomly brought up.
when we did
and now
best
I
and
can't,
worst of the
I
weekend.
can't stop thinking about it now.
The worst was
Hey, bro, that
Why are
was
you
nuts.
doing it to
That
me,
was
bro?
nuts,
I forgot
bro, yeah.
about that.
When Joe did that
Bro,
worst.
Joe-
Yeah.
Hey, Pat's
He
face
came out of
the whole
nowhere.
time. Hey, Pat wasn't even on camera. His face was like, "Why do you go
Bro,
there?"
Joe said, I just don't know, man. He had a massive stroke, lost 40% of the brain. Like, Joe, why you go with that bar, dog?
He's
That was
talking about
nuts.
Worst in sports.
That was nuts, bro.
Yeah.
Listen, we gotta end the show. Stop. You can't do me like that. You can't do me like. Why y'all do me like that, dog?
Hey,
Y'all be
man.
making me look weird on this show.
We
Stop.
appreciate y'all tuning in and showing love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. This will be up everywhere if you didn't get a chance to listen to the full thing on all podcasts and platforms. So tap in with us over there as well. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stretcher, all them mugs, man. So stay tapped in with us on that as well. For the Pettiest Man Alive, P Kid, and the fill-in producer